Alright, so we thought, since it's the Whiskey Tribe dry week right now, what better way to start off what's clearly going to be a difficult week of no whiskey, but with a fuck you steak. So, went out to Central Market here, picked up this beautiful bone-in ribeye. Prime beef, delicious, marbled, amazing. So what we're gonna do with this, guys, we're gonna season it up, put it in a vacuum sealed bag, and then put it over here into the sous vide. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is take this sous vide vacuum seal bag, seal one end of it, like so. Get that guy down, press the seal button. Wait for it to do its magic. All right. And you see, sealed on the one side, open on the other side. Ella, are you always excited for steak night? I know, you always get a little bit of steak on steak night, don't you? Can you be patient and get some, oh boy. Be patient and get some steak? Oh, you want it now. I promise you'll get some steak later. Hold on. Okay, so step number one, we want to hit it with some salt. When I'm going to do a big sous vide on a, what is this, probably about a 2-inch thick steak right here, I like to hit it first with about half the amount of salt that I'm going to use ultimately, because once it comes out of the sous vide, I'm going to hit it with a little fresh salt right before it goes on the grill. So I'm going to be, you know, this is a big cut of meat, so it can tolerate a fair amount of salt, but you don't want to go crazy. It's looking about good. It's about the amount of salt that I would put on a regular steak right there. I'm also gonna hit it with a bit of pepper. I feel like if you put the seasonings on at first, kind of just lets it all kind of sink into the steak in the few hours it's gonna sit on the sous vide here. Give that a nice little pat down, get all that wonderful seasoning in there. Flip it over to the other side. And there we go. Same thing on the other side. Salt liberally, but not too much, because again, we're going to hit it with a little bit of salt once it comes out of the sous vide here in a few hours. Same thing with some pepper. I mean, this is a big, big steak, so don't forget about getting the sides as well. There's a lot of surface area there too that could use some seasoning. If some of it fall off, you can just sort of mop up like that. Just give it a nice little dab. Don't lose any of that delicious, delicious seasoning. All right, good enough. We're gonna open up our sous vide bag here that we made. Take this guy, carefully put it on the side there. There we go. And one more thing that I'm gonna do, hit it with a couple of sprigs of thyme on either side, like so. Hit some on the other side as well, just to infuse a little bit more flavor in there. And we're also going to take a couple cloves of garlic here and just smash that down, smash that one down, and again, clove of garlic just on either side of the ribeye, just to infuse a little bit more flavor in. All right, and we're good to go. Simple as that, real easy. Get this guy out of the way. And we're going to take our vacuum sealer for the other side. Open that guy up again. And I've seen some fancy vacuum sealers out there. I know that some of them have a bunch of different settings and whatnot. Mine's pretty simple. Seems to get the job done pretty well. It's got these modes, normal and gentle, dry and moist food. That to me seems to be, if there was a lot of marinade or some oil, a lot of liquid in here, then I might switch those around. Right now we're gonna go with the normal dry mode and make sure we're all sealed up here. That's heat sealing the edge there. It's worth pointing out you absolutely don't have to buy one of these. Another great way to do it that works really well is to just take a normal Ziploc bag, put your steak in there with anything you want to marinate, and then you can do a immersion displacement method. So you slowly lower it into the water bath, pushes the air out, and then you can even clamp, you know, with some clips onto the side of your bin there. But I kind of like doing it this way. It's just a little extra insurance that you don't get any leakage or anything like that into the bag, especially when I've got a beautiful steak like this. So here's the sous vide setup. We've got the Innova immersion circulator, pretty cool. Control it with an app on your phone and all that. It's almost up to temp there. I was setting it for 120 degrees. A lot of times on the app for different cuts of steak, it'll show some little higher temperatures than that. I really like to let it go at a lower temperature for a little bit longer time. So I'm gonna aim for this to be about 3 hours for a huge steak like this. I feel like that really just tenderizes it a little bit more. Not that it's gonna need a bunch of help, but just the results I've had from cooking it shorter time, higher temp, I haven't liked quite as much as letting it go an extra hour and about 5 degrees less. So, got this little lid on top that I would highly recommend too. You can certainly just leave it open, but it kind of keeps all the dust and whatnot out of there and helps trap the heat inside, as well as it prevents a lot of evaporation from happening, so you don't have to worry if you're doing a long cook. It'll keep your water level more consistent for a longer time. So, just go ahead and plop this guy in there. Make sure it's all submerged. And there we go. We'll see you in 3 hours. Sous vide is done. I'm going to take out the steak. Here we go. So, when you first take something out of a sous vide, it's not the most attractive thing in the world. Just to show you right there, that doesn't really look like a finished steak, but not to worry. We're going to just sear the out of it. Pull this guy out of here. Oh yeah. Oh, just nice and gray. Yeah, there we go. All right. Let's take the herbs and the garlic off each side. This guy over. See that beautiful money shot on the other side? Oh yeah. Are you hungry yet? See, now I think Ella would probably eat this regardless, wouldn't you? All right, we got all that off of there. Here's one thing that's really, really important when cooking a steak, is to get the outside as dry as you can possibly get it before it goes over the high heat. And it's kind of a big deal because this thing can't really start to brown and get that beautiful seared crust on the outside until all the moisture on the surface evaporates. So what we're after is that beautiful sear, and the sooner we can get this thing getting seared on the grill, the better that's going to turn out. So really want to get this just as dry as possible. And we've got the big green egg outside heating up. I like to cook these at about somewhere around 550, 600 degrees. Now we have our super gross gray looking steak right here, but it's about to get a whole lot more beautiful. I'm gonna hit the top of it again, just a little bit more salt. And again, this is a good sized steak, so it can take a good amount of seasoning. pepper as well. Pat that down. Flip it over to the other side. And you can see it's already getting really tender already. Fantastic, there we go. Alright, so you can see here we're about 450 degrees roughly. Check and see what's going on the inside. I've set up like a 2-zone fire here, so all my coals are kind of towards the back there, so if I need to sort of pull the steak off, things are getting a little too crazy, I've got a space to evacuate it to back here that's got no fire underneath it. So I want to get this thing up to about 550, 600. Give it a nice little scrape here. So in order to do that, got this nifty little replacement cap for the green egg. Alright, so as you can see, I've pulled off that nice cap. And that's just going to force air through here and make the temperature skyrocket pretty fast. Alright, you can see we're creeping north of 550 now. So I'm going to go ahead, open up the lid. And we're going to go put our steak on. And this is going to go for about a minute and a half or so per side. We're going to kind of check it at that point and see how we feel about it. Alright, well, it's been about a minute and a half. Put the cap back on. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Nice little inferno there. Let's give her a flip. And down for another minute and a half. Alright, the time's up. Let's see what we got. Looking very nice. Here we go. Alright. Well, I think we're in pretty good shape here. Let's just pull this out and see. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty great. Here we go. Yep, I think that'll do. Check the other side. Other side's looking fantastic as well. Yeah, let's bring this guy inside. God. Right. Speak. Speak.